Upon waking in the morning, have you ever found yourself just sitting on the edge of your bed for a while, trying to gather the energy to get up and move around? It might feel as though your legs are a bit less strong than they were just a month ago. When you raise your arms, you have to put in a little more effort. That reason you walk a little slower than usual isn't because you're hurting. Instead, it's because your body doesn't possess the power it once did. If you find yourself identifying with that, understand you are certainly not alone. The gradual decline of muscle strength that happens after 60 is a perfectly natural and anticipated occurrence. Many individuals aren't aware that sarcopenia, the term referring to muscle mass loss, isn't solely due to the aging process. On the contrary, it relates to the things we do or don't do to bolster our bodies as we journey through life. I'm about to share something that could catch you off guard. Your muscles don't just gain strength from the activities you perform during your waking hours. While you are in fact sleeping, your body is executing its most vital work. This is when it will reconstruct, mend, and renew your muscle tissues. However, this can only happen if it's supplied with the correct components to utilize. Not just any food, but the right kind of gentle, supportive nighttime nourishment that works quietly as you rest are the source of those components. If you aim to build something, you need proper fuel. One calm night at a time, I will guide you through the process of consuming 4 potent natural foods right before you go to sleep. These items have the potential to help you prevent muscle wasting, restore vitality, and wake up feeling a bit more confident in your physical self. The very last item, just a single tablespoon before heading to bed, might astonish you with the effect it has on your muscles. Do stick with me until the very end. If you're interested in discovering simple strategies to maintain your strength while you're sleeping, feel free to go ahead and hit like on this video, subscribe to Senior Health, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Have you ever experienced eating a snack before bed that genuinely made you feel better upon waking? Learning about your experience would be quite fascinating. Let's begin today with the humble kiwi, a fruit that's smoked, green, fuzzy on the outside, and sweet and tangy within. You might think of kiwi as a refreshing treat on a warm summer day or something added to a mixed fruit salad. This small fruit is a silent champion when it comes to sleep and recovery, particularly if you enjoy it in the evening. Many people aren't aware of this, but here's more insight. I'd like to share a brief story with you. While chatting over tea, a gentleman named George, age 74, a retired teacher who was widowed, shared an intriguing experience with me. "I don't truly sleep through the night anymore," he mentioned. "You should know that. When I wake up, it feels like my body was holding tension while I slept, and it's stiff." In a sense, he wasn't hurting. Rather, he felt weary and drained. He observed that his legs weren't as steady as they had been previously. It wasn't the effortless strength in his arms he'd formerly taken for granted. In his mind, that was merely a natural part of growing older. I suggested he make one rather minor adjustment. Consume 2 kiwis approximately 1 hour before bedtime each night for a 2-week period. That was it. The difference is so subtle, you wouldn't believe it. Aside from drifting off to sleep faster, which George hadn't done in years, he also reported starting to wake up feeling lighter, better rested, and more capable of movement. He chuckled and stated, "I no longer groan like an old chair that I used to. Suddenly, I get the feeling my legs are my own again." Why is the kiwi fruit considered so remarkably unique in the first place? Kiwi is one of the few fruits that naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to guide you towards sleep. Kiwi offers a gentle, food-based version of melatonin that your body can absorb and use naturally, quite unlike the pill form many utilize. Additionally, studies have indicated that eating kiwis before sleep can enhance the quality and duration of rest, especially in older adults. Now, though, this is where things get even more exciting. During the stages of sleep that are more restorative and deep, your body can repair its muscles most significantly. It's only when you truly reach those deeper phases of sleep that your body is able to mend worn tissues, restore hormones to their normal levels, and regenerate strength while you dream. Kiwi can assist in unlocking that pathway. More than solely a source of melatonin, kiwi is also an excellent source of antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin E. What makes that important? Because as we age, our muscles become more vulnerable to inflammation and oxidative damage from the environment. This leads to symptoms like soreness, stiffness, and a general sense of being slowed down. Your muscle cells will be better able to focus on recovery rather than repair if you take antioxidants, which help clear away damage. Furthermore, kiwi fruit is a great source of potassium, which is essential for normal muscle contraction and helps prevent nocturnal leg cramps. And you know how beneficial that can be if you've ever been jolted awake at 3 a.m. by one of those searing leg cramps. And now we arrive at the part that senior citizens seem to appreciate most. The kiwi fruit is easy to digest and won't cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar. Despite having a sweet taste, it possesses a low glycemic index, meaning it's safe for individuals managing diabetes or closely monitoring their insulin levels. The fact that it naturally contains a minimal amount of sodium makes it an excellent choice for people dealing with high blood pressure. What's the most effective way to enjoy it? Peel 2 ripe kiwis roughly 1 hour before going to bed. It's suggested you consume them gently, perhaps while you are relaxing with a book or some calming music. Although it's a simple habit, it's one that signals to your body that it is time to wind down. Healing is soon to follow. As with anything else, it's crucial to listen to your body. If someone is sensitive to fruit acids or already has digestive issues, there is a possibility they may experience a mild stomach upset. For most individuals, however, kiwi is gentle, comforting, and well tolerated. It can even be described as soothing. Kiwi is a mild way to ease into deeper sleep and aid recuperation. And we've just now examined the quiet power of kiwi. Now, though, let's move on to something a bit more conventional. Something that each of us has had the pleasure of breaking into at some point in our lives, either with a slice of toast in the morning or hidden away in a family recipe we cherished. We are talking about eggs. As you hear this, you might be thinking, eggs before bed? That's right. When we think of eggs, we typically consider them a breakfast staple. However, here's the part that might surprise you. Particularly if you are over the age of 60 and your goal is to maintain your strength, balance, and muscular tone while you sleep, eating an egg before bed can do something pretty extraordinary for your body. You see, the effectiveness of eggs isn't just due to their high protein content, although this is absolutely true. All 9 of the essential amino acids your muscles need to develop and repair themselves are found in eggs, making them what nutritionists refer to as a complete protein. Adding to their benefit, they contain a particularly high concentration of leucine, the essential amino acid responsible for triggering the synthesis of muscle protein. When you eat eggs, your body receives a very clear message that it is time for repair. This is a technical way of saying that eggs are packed with protein. Now comes the part where things start to get interesting for seniors. To a certain extent, our bodies become less sensitive to even small amounts of protein as we get older. A 25-year-old might build muscle by consuming a small serving of chicken. In contrast, those over 60 generally need a slightly higher quantity of high-quality protein, particularly protein rich in leucine, to achieve the same benefit, and this is where eggs truly excel. Approximately 6 grams of protein and between 500 and 600 milligrams of leucine are contained in a single large egg. This quantity of protein is enough to make a significant contribution to the regeneration of muscle tissue overnight. Having a soft-boiled egg an hour before bedtime could be the missing element your body needs to stay robust. If there's so, this is especially true if you're someone who eats lightly in the evening or if your meal didn't include much protein. But there's more to it. Additionally, eggs are a source of vitamin D, a nutrient lacking in many older individuals, particularly those who don't spend a lot of time in sunlight. Furthermore, vitamin D is concerned with more than just bones. It also plays a substantial role in muscle function and coordination. You have a food that helps your body move and react with more ease and confidence when you combine this with the choline contained in eggs, which is a nutrient supporting the function of the brain and nerves. But what about cholesterol? You might be wondering at this juncture. That's a fair question, especially given that eggs were once viewed quite negatively. Here is what the most recent scientific research reveals. For most individuals, consuming eggs in moderation, which is around 1 egg per day, does not increase the risk of developing heart disease. In fact, there are studies suggesting eggs can actually improve your cholesterol profile by raising levels of HDL cholesterol, which is considered the good cholesterol. Eggs can be a very safe and extremely valuable part of your diet. That is, unless your doctor has specifically told you to avoid them. The way you prepare your eggs is, of course, also important. Eggs that are cooked gently, such as by poaching, soft boiling, or lightly scrambling them in olive oil, are beneficial for digestion and retain a greater amount of their nutrients. You should avoid frying in butter or adding an excessive amount of salt, as these might irritate your stomach and cause your blood pressure to rise. A soft egg is one of the easiest proteins to consume, making it a good choice for people who have difficulty chewing. There's no need to strain your jaw. Allow me to illustrate this with a real-life scenario. After participating in a wellness program, I met a woman named Lean. She is 68 years old, always smiling, and she brings fruit for everyone she encounters. She suffered from a feeling of weakness in the morning for several years. When I get out of bed, she used to say, my legs wobble like cooked noodles. Although she believed skipping snacks after sunset would improve her sleep, she didn't eat much dinner until late and often didn't eat dinner at all. We made it a point to incorporate a single poached egg into her evening routine. It wasn't a large meal, but rather a small, warm snack before she headed to bed. After a fortnight had passed, she informed me that, although I hadn't expected it to have any effect, I no longer feel as shaky as I did before. My state of mind is truly stable. If you select the correct protein for bedtime, it can achieve this. Consuming a large meal in the evening is not the issue here. Never in the least. While you are resting, it's important to supply your muscles with the appropriate amount of fuel so they can heal and rebuild. The work is done by your body. All you need to do is provide it with the resources it requires. Let us now shift our attention to something you might not anticipate, something you might be able to cradle in the palm of your hand, or perhaps something you might even forget about, tucked away in a jar on the side of the cupboard. However, don't be deceived by their modest size. These tiny seeds are one of the foods that most people don't appreciate enough when it comes to the nighttime hours. In this context, I'm referring to pumpkin seeds, the same small green kernels, often called pepitas, that you might find sprinkled on salads or mixed into granola, are the ones being discussed here. Yet pumpkin seeds possess far more potency than their diminutive size suggests when it comes to your muscles, your rest, and your total recovery during the hours you are asleep. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Harold. As a retired gardener, Harold is 72 years old. His hands still have the appearance of being able to work the soil. To address a common problem, he came to me. I experience a tightness in my legs each and every morning when I wake up, he said. I go through the motions. Now I am moving. However, there is still the impression that I didn't get any relaxation at all. Magnesium was the one element that was missing from his evening routine, his meals, and his sleep habits, and we investigated it. Magnesium, as you likely know, is a mineral that assists in the relaxation of your muscles. Without sufficient quantities of it, your muscles may remain partially tense even while you are sleeping. Although they may have slept for 8 hours, some people nevertheless wake up feeling sore because of this. And can you guess what one of the most beneficial natural sources of magnesium is right now? That is correct. Seeds produced by pumpkins. A small portion, which is approximately 1 ounce, can provide you with roughly 37% of the magnesium you need daily. Considering how small the bite is, that is quite remarkable. You are providing your body with the resources it needs to unwind physically, not just mentally, when you enjoy them in the evening. However, magnesium is not the only benefit pumpkin seeds offer due to their composition. In addition, they are one of the few foods that naturally contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body converts into serotonin and subsequently into melatonin, the hormone that contributes to your ability to fall asleep. If you combine tryptophan with magnesium, you will experience a powerful 1-2 punch that will allow you to achieve better and deeper sleep. Tryptophan on its own doesn't cause sleeping issues. A better night's rest triggers a greater release of growth hormone, more cellular repair, and yes, a greater amount of muscle rebuilding during the night. While you are sleeping under the covers, pumpkin seeds are a good source of plant-based protein, with approximately 7 grams of protein per ounce, and they also include beneficial fats that aid slow digestion. Let's not overlook this essential fact. Instead of experiencing a sudden surge and subsequent drop in amino acid levels, your body will enjoy a gradual and consistent release of amino acids throughout the night. It is mild, it offers support, and it is precisely what aging muscles require in order to mend and grow stronger. The question you might be asking now is, how do you consume pumpkin seeds in the evening without overdoing it? By all means, keep it minimal. A tablespoon or two is more than sufficient for the purpose. You can consume them in their natural state, or if you wish to increase your protein intake, you can sprinkle them over a little amount of plain Greek yogurt. To enhance the nutty flavor, some individuals briefly warm them in a skillet, but you are not required to do so. Simply do not add any salt to them. In particular, if you are attempting to manage hypertension, consuming sodium late at night is not beneficial for regulating your blood pressure. Additionally, they contain a high amount of zinc, which is beneficial for repairing cells, boosting the immune system, and even maintaining hormonal balance. This is particularly significant for men over the age of 60 who wish to maintain healthy testosterone levels, as testosterone levels are directly related to muscle mass. All of that from a single seed. Nature doesn't waste space. As is true with other nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds are calorie dense. This is a somewhat minor caution. That does not imply they are unhealthy. However, you should be cautious not to consume them by the handful, especially in the late hours of the night. Try to limit yourself to a small serving. Instead of thinking of them as a snack, you can consider them a nocturnal tonic that will help your muscles along with your sleep. This brings us to the final one, the unassuming champion of strength before nightfall. The sweetness of fruit and the crunchiness of seeds are absent from this. Neither is it vibrant, nor is it dazzling. Cottage cheese, on the other hand, is the one food that can genuinely help you rebuild the muscles that time has diminished while you are sleeping. To put that into perspective before you wrinkle your nose or think, that was something my grandmother used to eat, hold on with me, because despite its seemingly insignificant lumpy texture, it is actually one of the most potent foods for muscle development that you can consume. Particularly before heading to bed and especially after the age of 60, allow me to explain why. In cottage cheese, there is a specific type of protein known as casein that can be found. And casein is not the same as the protein present in other foods like fish, poultry, or even eggs. It takes a long time to be digested. This indicates that your body doesn't absorb it immediately after you have consumed it. Furthermore, it releases amino acids gradually over the course of several hours, thereby ensuring that your muscles remain gently nourished throughout the entire night. What is the significance of that? As a result of your body entering repair mode while you are sleeping, it is possible for your body to begin breaking down muscle in order to fuel other activities. There are not enough amino acids in your bloodstream. Amino acids are the building blocks of muscle. A situation like that is the last thing you desire, especially if you are already contending with the muscle loss that accompanies aging. During the night, imagine supplying your body with a steady stream of those amino acids. To put it another way, a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese can precisely accomplish this. This does not cause a surge in your blood sugar. As far as your stomach is concerned, it does not feel heavy. While you are recovering after your day's activity, it silently goes to work promoting muscle growth, repair, and strength. Martha, who is a close friend of mine, is 76 years old. She was as sharp as she had always been, but she had begun to notice that her legs were becoming weaker. Ascending the stairs grew more difficult. The process of getting out of the car required increased effort. She had been assured that it was simply the natural process of aging, but she did not feel satisfied with that response. One minor adjustment we made was to consume a small bowl of low-fat cottage cheese, consisting of just a few spoonfuls, approximately 30 minutes before going to bed. Within a span of 3 weeks, she informed me that, oh no, it seemed as though my body had finally received the message. As I wake up, I find that I have greater energy. Now I possess a sense of stability. When the body finally receives what it has been lacking, this is what transpires. In addition, cottage cheese has a significant amount of leucine, which is the same amino acid that stimulates muscle growth that we discussed in relation to eggs. However, cottage cheese provides this amino acid over a longer duration. If you think about it like this, eggs offer a quick way to initiate action. A calm and steady hand that sustains you through the night is what cottage cheese offers you. And if you are monitoring your blood sugar, I have some additional excellent information for you. The simple low-fat variety of cottage cheese, in particular, has a naturally low carbohydrate content. It will neither cause a crash during the midnight hours nor interfere with insulin levels. People with diabetes or prediabetes may benefit from the protein as it has the potential to help regulate blood sugar levels overnight. Consider choosing the low-sodium option if you are concerned about the amount of salt in the food. Now, they are not difficult to locate. And for those concerned about heart health, choose variants that are low in fat or contain 1% to limit the amount of saturated fat. Now, let's talk about the flavor and the texture. In its natural state, cottage cheese is a favorite for some individuals. As an alternative, some people prefer to combine it with something else, such as a few slices of banana or perhaps a tablespoon of cinnamon. If you have some kiwi that you had left over from earlier, this is a wonderful pairing to include. The most important thing is to keep things light and simple. It is vital to remember that this is not a meal, but rather a signal to your body. What you need is as follows. Please take your time. Conduct repairs while I am sleeping. 1 tablespoon is truly all that is required to make a difference. Indeed, that's correct. Now let me explain its simple beauty. There is no preparation, no cooking, and no stress involved. You are not required to stand over a stove or blend a smoothie to achieve this. The only thing you need to do is open the container, grab a spoon, and begin nourishing your body. It is quiet care to a great extent. Many elderly people believe that in order to regain their strength, they must engage in significant activity. Intense exercise regimens, complicated eating plans, and expensive supplements are often part of the perception. However, the reality is that strength after the age of 60 is derived from consistency in the smallest details, because you are aware of what to provide your body and when to provide it. An additional benefit of consuming a small amount of cottage cheese before going to bed is that it acts as a comforting embrace for your muscles. Now that we have completed our journey along this peaceful nighttime path together, let us pause for a moment to take a deep breath and reflect. There is no need for you to entirely alter the course of your life. Neither the pursuit of flawlessness nor the counting of every single calorie is essential. Something more sustainable, a few choices made consistently with consideration, is what your body genuinely needs, especially after the age of 60. A choice as insignificant as peeling a kiwi could be the one you make tonight. Gently cook an egg, savoring a small portion of cottage cheese with a spoon. Alternatively, you could try allowing a few pumpkin seeds to soften on your tongue before the lights go out. These aren't merely snacks to eat before retiring. In other words, they are acts of kindness directed at your future self. They provide fuel for your muscles. They ease the tension in your nervous system. Furthermore, they promote more restful sleep and more energetic mornings. And by performing each and every calm evening routine, you are sending a message to your body that you are still important. There is still vitality within you, and you are still capable of restoring things because this is the truth. Muscle loss is not an inevitable outcome. It can be reversed. It is possible to prevent it. To begin, you must give your body what it is requesting, not in a loud and overwhelming manner, but rather in stages that are straightforward and gentle. You can now go to bed tonight with the knowledge that your body is gradually reassembling itself as you sleep, rather than going to bed with the feeling that your strength is diminishing. If you found this video to be encouraging, or if it offered you some new ideas to experiment with, I would be delighted to hear from you. Which foods are you most interested in trying before going to bed? Please let me know in the comments section. Your story may serve as inspiration for another member of our Health 365 family, as I had the opportunity to read every word. Additionally, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the Senior Health channel. Something truly remarkable is being built right here. The kind of environment where getting older means becoming wiser, stronger, and more connected with the world around you every day. Until we meet again, I hope you get plenty of rest, nourish yourself well, and wake up feeling more powerful. You have worked hard for